Hey credit warriors, welcome to the show. And with the release of the new US Bank Shopper Cash Rewards credit card just a few days ago, competition in the quarterly category credit card space is hotting up. In case you don't know, there's a very popular type of credit card that earns 5% cash back on usually $1,500 worth of spending in quarterly categories that are either chosen by the card holder or rotate each quarter. There are now 5 well-known cards in this category, and these are the ones we're going to go through in this video. They are the Chase Freedom Flex, the Discover It Cashback Card, the Citi Custom Cash, the US Bank Cash Plus, and the US Bank Shopper Cash Rewards Card. And we're going to look at each card's value to the card holder, how easy they are to get approved for, their welcome bonuses, and also which card would be right for who, because they all have different categories. Some earn straight cashback and some earn transferable points that can be used for free luxury travel. And this video is brought to you by Kudos, but more on that later. Number 1, the Chase Freedom Flex. Now this is a classic card that has been around in one form or another for many years. Here are how the categories work on the Freedom Flex. Earn 5% cash back on different categories like gas stations, grocery stores, and select online merchants on up to $1,500 in total combined purchases each quarter you activate. So they tell you the category for the next quarter about 2 weeks before the quarter starts, you activate it, and then you get 5% back on your spending. Since there is a cap of $1,500 in spending per quarter, you can earn $75 in bonus cashback each quarter through this method, and that's $300 per year. Here's the cashback calendar for 2022, and you can see a lot of popular categories like grocery and gas. In addition, the Freedom Flex also earns 3% on dining, 3% on drugstores, and 5% on travel booked through Chase. Now, all the cashback you earn is actually tracked as points. The redemption values are just 1 cent per point if you only have the Freedom Flex. But if you have a Chase Sapphire card like the Preferred or the Reserve, the points take on higher value once you transfer them over to that card. For example, if you have the Chase Sapphire Reserve, you transfer your points you earned on your Freedom Flex to the Reserve, and then you book travel through the travel portal. Points are now worth 1.5 cents per point. That means instead of earning 5% cash back on the categories, you actually earned 7.5%. Then this card also has transfer partners, which if you transfer out to an airline, you can normally get 2 cents in value per point. So you would have now earned 10% cash back on your categories if you use them through transfer partners from your Sapphire Reserve card. Also, I'm just going to come right out and say it, this card has the best welcome bonus of any card in this video. It's $200 cash back for spending $500 in the first 3 months, and 5% back on up to $12,000 in grocery spending in the first year. If you max out the grocery spend and you get the $200, that's $800 in cashback, or 80,000 Chase points that you could transfer over to a Sapphire card that would easily be worth over $1,000 in value. So the key advantages of the Freedom Flex are that it has a great welcome bonus, and also the cashback converts to points which can be transferred over and redeemed for greater value. It is a key part of the Chase trifecta. And if you don't know what that is, you can check out this video on my channel. I'll put it on the end card. And if you're wondering, the card has no annual fee, and I also like the name, Freedom. It's very patriotic. Now for some disadvantages. It does have foreign transaction fees, so forget about using it on that trip to France. I mean, you're going to need to pay for that damage somehow, just not with the Chase Freedom. Then Chase also likes to see at least a year of credit history if they're going to issue you a credit card. They don't do starter or credit builder cards. If you bank with Chase and you've got money being paid into your account every month, you can usually get around this by getting a branch banker to write an email to the credit card department supporting your application. But if you don't bank with Chase, then you probably will need a year of credit history. And if you don't have that, you might want to check out our next card. Number 2, the Discover It Cashback Card. Now Discover, like Capital One, is a bank that actually targets people who are new to the credit card game. So most people should have no problem getting approved for the Discover It Cashback Card as their first credit card. And when Discover isn't spending their time making slightly prejudiced commercials,
"My name is Peggy. What is problem, please?"
Peggy? Sure.
Want better customer service? Switch to Discover.
they are spending their time designing a great credit card. The categories on the Discover It work pretty much the exact same way as the Freedom. It's 5% back on $1,500 worth of spending per quarter, but the difference is they actually release the cashback calendar for the whole year. So you don't find out what the category is just before the next quarter. It's at the beginning of the year. You'll know it for the entire year. This was their calendar for 2022, and you can see a lot of favorite categories in there like grocery and gas. Discover also prides themselves on the fact that they have no annual fees. They've been going on about that in their commercials since the 90s.
Evidently, some people have money to burn. Why else would they pay an outrageous fee to carry a simple credit card when they could carry the Discover card?
In addition to that, the credit card also has no foreign transaction fees. Perfect for that trip to the Louvre in Paris you always wanted to take. The card also has a pretty good welcome bonus. It's a first-year cashback match. So instead of earning $300 in cashback on $6,000 worth of spending for the 4 quarters, you actually earn $600. Or in other words, you get 10% back on that category spending for the first year. The only disadvantage I can really see with this card is that it is straight cashback. It can't be transferred into points and then transferred to other cards or to airlines to get higher value. But if you are into that, stay tuned, because there's one more card in this video that does do transferable points. But first, I know you guys are watching this because you always want to use the best, most optimized card to earn the maximum cashback or points on your spending. And thus, you will most likely be interested in the sponsor of today's video, Kudos. You see, Kudos is a web browser extension that ensures you always use the card that gives you the best rewards rate whenever you are shopping online. It will automatically recommend the right card. Like here on Amazon, it is recommending my Amazon Rewards Visa card that earns 5% back at Amazon. On Walmart's website, since the Chase Freedom has Walmart as a category in Q4, Kudos is smart enough to keep track of that and recommends the Freedom for 5% back. And on American Airlines website, it recommends my Amex Platinum that earns 5 points per dollar on flights. And notice it values the points at 2 cents per point, which is what I set them at since I use transfer partners. It shows me the dollar amount the points will be worth so I can compare that with my cashback cards. Kudos will also show me any other benefits on the cards that may be beneficial to my purchase. For example, for my flight, it's showing me the Amex Platinum also has several insurances, like luggage insurance, that would benefit me on an air ticket booking. Sometimes Kudos may point out a benefit that you never even knew you had. If you enter your card details in the Kudos wallet, Kudos will automatically populate the boxes for you at checkout, and your data is stored with the same encryption used by top banks, the Department of Defense, and even NASA. And because of a recent upgrade, Kudos now works on mobile too. You can download the Kudos app, which gives you the same browser extension for the mobile Safari browser. So click my link below to download Kudos for free and try it for yourself. Number 3, the Citi Custom Cash. Now it seems Citi is taking a little bit of a dig at the Chase Freedom, especially in their commercial for this card.
You don't have to choose a spending category. Or remember to opt in.
Yes, opting in for quarterly categories. Who has time in their busy schedule for that? You see, the Citi Custom Cash automatically gives you 5% back on $500 worth of spending per month, which is the same as $1,500 per quarter in whichever category you spend the most in. Here is a list of categories that are eligible for 5%. Restaurants, gas stations, grocery stores, select travel, select transit, select streaming services, drugstores, home improvement stores, fitness clubs, live entertainment. Now, the really great thing with this card is you can do the same thing that you can do with the Freedom Flex. The cashback is tracked as points. You can transfer them to the Citi Premier, where you could then book travel or transfer them on to airlines where they take on more value, for example, possibly 2 cents per point, so that 5% turns into 10%. The current bonus on this card is $200 for spending $1,500 in the first 6 months, which is pretty average for this kind of card. It doesn't have an annual fee, but it does have foreign transaction fees. But in my opinion, this is a great card to use for that one category that you don't have another card for, since you can keep the exact same category each month as long as you spend the most in that category on this card. So you could literally get 5% back on gas every month if you just use this card for gas, if you know how.
Introducing the new Citi Custom Cash card.
Okay, I don't know where the hole for this is.
Yeah, moving on. Number 4, the US Bank Cash Plus. Now this card earns 5% back in 2 categories you choose each quarter from this list: fast food, home utilities, TV, internet and streaming, department stores, cell phone providers, electronic stores, sporting goods stores, movie theaters, gyms, fitness centers, furniture stores, ground transportation, and select clothing stores. And there are some really interesting categories here that other cards don't have, like fast food.
I mean, what would happen if I ate nothing but McDonald's for 30 days straight?
I knew if I was going to do this, I would need some serious medical supervision.
Yeah, medical supervision and a card that earns 5% back on fast food. US Bank should have sponsored that movie. But okay, maybe fast food actually would just code as restaurants on other cards, so it's actually a smaller category. But there are some other interesting ones, like home utilities, furniture stores, gyms, and cell phone providers. These unusual categories could make this card a card that covers the bases that your other cards leave out. And guess what? The spending limit is $2,000 per quarter instead of $1,500. That's the highest limit on any card we're talking about today. So you would earn $400 in cash back per year if you maxed out the categories on this card versus just $300 on most of the other cards. The card also has an additional 2% category that you choose as well and no annual fee. All right, let's move on to our fifth and final card. Number 5, the US Bank Shopper Cash Rewards. Now this card is an exception to all the other cards that we've talked about that earn 5% in the categories because this card earns 6%, and that is on $1,500 in spending per quarter from 2 retailers that you choose from this list. You'll see some very popular stores like Walmart, Home Depot, and Macy's. So a lot of people could probably max it out just from grocery shopping at Walmart each month. You then get an additional 3% everyday category that you choose and 1.5% back on everything else. How can this card give better rates than all the other cards? Well, that is because it has an annual fee. Discover would have a heart attack.
The card that charges no annual fee, which means it puts money into your pocket instead of burning a hole in it.
But although it charges $95 per year, the card will actually be worth it and earn more cash back than the other cards if you're able to max out the categories. If you can't max them out, chances are you may earn less cash back than a card such as the Chase Freedom. The card also has a $250 welcome bonus, and I do have a dedicated video on it. It looks like this, so if you are interested, you can check it out on my channel. All right, guys, so those are the 5 cards, and here is a very brief recap on the advantages of each card. Chase Freedom Flex, best bonus and earns transferable points. The Discover It cashback card, no foreign transaction fees, also has a pretty good bonus. Citi Custom Cash, good for ease of use and getting cashback on the same category every month, for example, gas. US Bank Cash Plus, good for unusual categories and has a higher spend limit. US Bank Shopper Cash Rewards, good if your favorite store is on the list and more lucrative than other cards if you can guarantee you'll max out the categories. All right, guys, so that is my list, and hopefully that points you in the right direction of a card that may be suitable for you. You may want to do more of your own research, and if so, you can check out my credit card top picks page, which does feature a couple of cards, notably the Freedom Flex and the Citi Custom Cash on that page. You can learn more about them if you click the link below. Also, a big thank you to the sponsor of this video, Kudos. You can click their link below and download their free browser extension to use the most optimized card for every situation. Please subscribe if you're new. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.